Okay, I'm going to try to make this a fast Docker video for you. So, as I thought, we're going to try installing Jellyfin today. Now, Jellyfin is also another media hub. So, I pre-pulled the image earlier just to see if it was working as intended. So, let's go ahead and get going. So first, we're going to do add container. And since we already know it's going to be Jellyfin, let's call this Jellyfin. Now let's go over here. Let's see what our Docker pull is. Now you can use Jellyfin, but I'm going to use Linux server again due to their documentation style. Now for this one, we're going to use Linux server / Jellyfin. Again, I pulled this earlier to try and make sure things were good to go, set a few things up. So Linux server, and we're going to use Jellyfin latest. We're going to look at our documentation here, scroll down to it. Again, read through here and make sure it is something you want to use, something you like. We don't need optional. I'm not going to set the time zone, which you should do. We're going to need a process user ID and a process group ID. So let's go down here to our environments. Let's add 2. So process user ID and our process group ID. Set both of these to 1,000. Alright, that's good. And we're going to make a 1, 2, 3 volume paths. So let's go to volume 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to set these to bind. We want /config, not uppercase, /config, /TV shows, and /movies. So let's go ahead and paste our path for the config. Again, I was testing earlier, so config. Again, here I am with the capital config. And then TV. And then we will have movies. Okay. Our next step is our port, which is 8096. So let's go back and we'll map our port for host 8096 and our container, again 8096. Back to our documentation, and that is all it looks like we need. So, our restart policy was unless stopped. Now, you don't have to follow restart policies exactly. We already explained unless stopped means unless you stop said container. If Docker crashes, you restart your computer, it'll restart. But if you stop the container and you restart Docker or restart your computer, it will not automatically restart your Jellyfin instance. So you can set it to always, never, or unless stopped. So let's go ahead and deploy our container. And it shouldn't take too long since I already pre-pulled. Yep, there we go. So we should be looking for port 8096. So let's do localhost and 8096. And for the sake of this, so I'm not showing you an old one, let's add server. We'll call this localhost 8096. You should put in your LAN IP, just to put that out there. This is just an example. We'll do connect. If you get this without asking you to make an account, try hitting refresh, because it should ask you to set things up. It's not. Okay. Let's try closing. We'll close everything. Then we'll reopen. And we will try localhost 8096/web. There we go. So if it doesn't kick in when you do just a regular refresh, I don't know if this is a new bug or where I have 2 servers installed to it now. If refresh doesn't work, shut all your browsers down, reopen it, and try /web. So I'm going to do English. Username We'll call this one example. Our password, again, super secret password 1234, and password 1234. So let's go ahead and go to next. Here's where we're going to start adding our libraries. So content type. Let's do movies. We'll call it movies. We will enable the library. Our language for preferred metadata will be, well, whatever your language will be. I'm going to choose English. My country and region. Again, this will be your country and region. Where did we go? There we are, United States. Let's see, enable real-time monitoring, yes. The movie database, open database. This will be where your metadata is scraped from. Automatically refresh metadata from the internet. I'd say never, so that way your box art and your information of your personal media never really changes unless you engage a refresh. So, image fetchers, this is where you'll get your box art and your season headers. If, say, you have like Gunsmoke, it'll give you the season box art for Gunsmoke. So we're going to go ahead and click OK. Please add at least one for all. I forgot to add a folder. My bad. So folders, movies, and we will add, where'd it go? Where's movies at? There's our movies folder. Okay. And okay. So now that we have our movies folder, let's go ahead and go back to our media. I'm going to grab a copy of Big Buck Bunny out of our Plex area. Where's copy? There we go. And I'm going to throw it in movies with Jellyfin. We'll go ahead and paste that in there. There we go. Now if I go into the movies part right here. Okay, we got it. Next, again, English United States. We do not want to allow remote connections to our server. At least, when I set up home lab equipment and stuff, I don't want outside connections. So we click Next, and we are done. Now remember, we will use our example and our super secret password. We're going to log in. And recently added Big Buck Bunny. So we're going to click Big Buck Bunny. And kind of like Plex, this one will have a banner card. It'll have the box art, video type, your audio, and your metadata. Now this one, if you click play here, we're going to block notifications. You'll see we have Big Buck Bunny playing again. And like last time, we'll wait till the bird comes up for a couple of seconds. But one thing I like about Jellyfin is it'll tell you when said movie will be over. Alright, so that's that. One of the pluses with Plex is it doesn't need a phone home like Plex does, or a Plex account. Yes, you have to make a local account with Jellyfin, but that's so everybody has their own little watch history. So, what we'll do here is go ahead and go back and go home. And you see this has just a blue card. After a little time, a little scraping through your movie, it'll set up random pictures for your category cards. Say you add TV shows or subtitled movies. It'll pick a frame out of your movies to put as your card, just to denote your category. And just like Plex, you can have recently added and all that. But let's go into example, and we're going to go into the dashboard, because the first person you make will be the administrator, so you should technically make an admin account and then an account even for yourself, but this is just an example. You'll have general settings, your users, where you can look or add users. You can even remove users and control what they see. Your libraries. This is where you'll store all your categories. Say you have movies, but inside your movie folder, you have 4 movies, and you want movies 4, not just movies. You'd have to make more categories to go for those types. Display, metadata, playback, devices. So you see what's connected and how long ago, and who connected. User example 3 minutes ago through Firefox. You could have the activity of what's happened. Password changes, where the connection is from. It's a great little tool. Now, the only caveat I have against Jellyfin is it really doesn't work with all subtitle formats. Um, it used to not work with Blu-ray ripped subtitles, but it seems like it's getting better lately because some of my old kung fu movies that had Blu-ray subtitles would not work. It would need to transcode them. So I tried again here, about 4 months ago, and it seems to be working with Blu-ray subtitles now. So that'd be one thing to look into if you were thinking about using Jellyfin with subtitled stuff. Now, another workaround, which I can suggest, is if you're doing it through say, an Android TV or a Android device, you can choose to use an external player in experimental or beta, and then have it play through, say, VLC player, which is what I tend to do with my subtitled like kung fu movies, and that way there's just no heavy amount of transcoding need to be done by your system. So with that being said, that's Jellyfin, and I hope this helped. So if anything, we're gonna not do a media look next time. We'll try and choose a different project. As always, hope it helped you out somewhat. Hope between a couple of these media hubs you are able to back up your movies, and have a good day.